So the more kind of beef of this is marketing takeaways. Um, what should I be doing differently to adjust for advancement in AI and technology? How can I guarantee the success of my online visibility? Here's an example of an AI generated photo, which everyone can probably get, you kind of get accustomed to spotting them. This was something our marketing person that I thought was just hilarious. I randomly found in our Canva. Um, but anyway, so we'll move on to my guidance here. Focus on unique and helpful content. Here's two examples. One is real, authentic, and personal, and frankly, is one of my favorite handyman photos of all time. Of all their guys holding the tools like weapons. And then you've got an AI generated version. The untrained eye might not be able to spot this. I certainly can. And I think over time, the consumers will kind of grow leery in the same way of like stock photos are so obvious as compared to a photo like this on the Google page, on the website, in your Facebook, whatever. Creating that personal, authentic connection is, I know that might sound kind of like wooey and more relational, but Google has real systems at identifying what's in a photo. I think it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the SEO community found that if you stuff some keywords into your photos on Google and upload them to your Google profile, that it helped build more specific keywords by just putting some text over the top because Google's system would read that and associate it with the photo. Um, I expect, and maybe it's happening right now, there's no concrete evidence, but as you upload photos to your Google profile, and it's drywall repair, you're uploading a bunch of drywall, but that's going to help bolster up your visibility for people searching for drywall because, hey, you're getting reviews that mention drywall. You got some photos that were uploaded by customers showing the drywall. You upload photos yourself with drywall patching work. Your website says drywall repair. So this helpful, authentic content, I think it is absolutely critical. And I do believe that while systematically Google might not be able to identify AI generated versus authentic, it is moving in a way where they want to identify that and are going to prioritize unique and real content. So anyway, does just a fun example there. So to kind of further expand on this unique and helpful content example, this is purely for offline or for online. I do have at the end, like I'm not skipping on the fundamentals here, guys. I'm a huge advocate of the fundamentals. I think it was Michael Jordan. Just focus on the fundamentals, practice the fundamentals and you're going to be great. Anyway, we'll get to that towards the end. But from an online perspective, the ultimate future proofing for your online marketing is being authentic and being helpful. Um, Theoretically, like in SEO, we call this trust signals that we're building with Google. We build signals with Google with new content, with the website, with your Google profiles being set up. When you get reviews, that builds trust signals. Even someone mentioning your business on Facebook, if it's a public forum, Google's going to be able to find that and possibly attribute that and build your own authority within their ranking system. So the bigger picture here is being authentic and helpful, being unique, minimizing stock usage, minimizing generic text, you know, truly showcase your services and who you guys are as a company. So as far as specific action items here, consistently post your projects to your website, your Google profile, and your social media accounts. If depending on how much online stuff you got going, the most important one that you could do at a super base level yourself is anytime you have are posting a project on Facebook. I know most people are at least putting up a project on Facebook. Do that for your Google profile. It's way more impactful, especially from a ranking standpoint. You get right to the source. You basically feed in your project to the machine that's pumping out the rankings and the results. So feed it into Google, make a Google post. So consistently posting your projects to your website, Google Business Profile, social media accounts, that's impactful. Answer common, frequently asked questions on your website and your Google profile. Questions that you guys get every single week, every single month, start jotting those down. Put them on your website, put them on your Google profile. Periodically answer them on social media. These are FAQs that are specific to your customers and your business. They are unique. They are helpful. Proper SEO structuring, as far as the website goes, is definitely helpful for kind of packaging all of it. And then the last thing here is Google wants to rank businesses that are helpful, highly rated, and authentic. I'll address this in kind of a next slide of what to avoid. But Google has taken the stance that a web that is 100% AI generated is not a web that anyone wants. It's not productive for humanity. I personally agree. If I am going to go find a recipe, um, I guess that's a bad example because I got to say the AI recipes are way better than the real ones I've found. But there is something to be said about using the internet and knowing that articles and some content has got some human brain power and some thinking and some personality to it. Um, Google's taken a very forward stance that they don't want a web that's filled with AI generated content. It loses its touch with humanity. I personally really like that stance. Um, Imagine firing up Netflix and everything's AI generated. Your music's AI generated. I think that there's going to be some tipping points that humanity finds in the next 5, 10, 20 years as all this stuff becomes really reality and it's mass produced at a high quality. As far as I think media, visual media is going to be a big one. And this is kind of getting a little bit away from the main point here, but overall, it does underscore the thought of like, well, what if everything we consume isn't even made by humans? And Google has taken a very forward stance in their ranking algorithm and what they communicate with the SEO community, that they want to rank businesses that are authentic and helpful, that have proprietary content. So it's good to focus on that. It's future proofing. No AI can generate your ceiling fan replacement that you did in Dallas, Texas. Like no one can AI cannot replicate that. It's authentic, it's unique, it's something that happened in a space of time at someone's house in your market by your business. So I would avoid any website content that's more just generic, that isn't unique to your guys' market demographics. With one example being like home maintenance tips. Um, the whole blog of like 10 home maintenance tips in the summer has been written tens of thousands of times. And unless it's actually tailored to your specific market geography, ties in, some local landmarks, just something that makes it actually unique and helpful. Google's not, they don't want to rank that kind of content. We found that proprietary project focused content is highly effective for posting to your online presence. Naturally, it has your keywords, and also people can see your quality of work, and it cannot be duplicated. So, first up here, and this is beating a dead horse. Every time I get on here, I just talk about Google profiles and reviews, but it's because they're very, very, very important. So, reviews, it's hard to understate the value of reviews. Their ranking priority goes up, it seems, every single year or two. And I think they're going to keep being important and a huge ranking signal, trust signal as we move forward because it goes right to the source. What are people actually saying about your business? So, building reviews on Google, absolutely critical. Your overall rating, keywords, people talking about the actual job that was done. If you have a template canned message that you email or text somebody, put a little note in there. If you could like explain the job and kind of give them a little bit of guidance on the review, just to pull out maybe the occasional like, oh, they did an awesome job with my painting and drywall. Keywords and reviews are really powerful, especially alongside when they're matched up on the website and on your Google profile. Make sure you got your services all plugged in. There's this cohesiveness that is connected. The dots get connected, especially a review, because that's an outside source. Google recognizes this. We can say anything we want about our business on our website, on our Google profile, because they're ours. But for someone to leave a review, it's a third party. It's very powerful. And Google search engines, they know that. Hard to understate, guys. If you're not building reviews on a regular basis, you're really, really missing out. And also leave yourself liable for, in the future, if they become more important, reviews are absolutely critical. Now, one important point that's been brought up in the last year or two with, the AI tools kind of hitting the mainstream, if you will, is the importance of review diversification. Absolutely prioritize Google review. If someone had said, I'll leave you a Google or a Facebook, you should be like, Google, please, thank you very much. But it is important, worthwhile to trickle in some reviews on other platforms. If you know a lead came from Yelp, See if they'll leave you a Yelp review. It's got a higher likelihood of it actually showing up. I'm not a big advocate of Yelp strictly because they hide their reviews for no apparent reason. That sucks. But getting reviews on your Google profile, on Facebook, on Yelp, if you have Bing Places, Yahoo Maps, BBB, a free BBB profile. Um, Review diversification is important. These AI tools, they do pull in all these other kind of sources. Um, Google being the most important one, but it does underscore review diversification. Also, Google is now pulling in reviews from like Facebook and other platforms, Home Advisor, TripAdvisor is a big one for like restaurants and stuff like that. So Google, again, they're doing the same thing that ChatGPT is doing, except on on Google, and they've got all these Google profiles and reviews and proprietary information that just kind of allows them to have a monopoly on this thing. So review diversification is more important than it was a year or two ago. So that's why I bring this up. Direct impact from this more aggregate sourcing from AI tools.